A lot of the updates and the improvements made to models are not public, so we can't really discuss them very well. In terms of specific things, I think the main thing that has happened is just you get a lot of behaviors through scale. So like as the models get better, or as the models get bigger, as the models get more capable, they have like more ability to do a lot of reasoning, and some of the reasoning they're able to do involves, where am I, what am I in the world, and so forth. So that's one hypothesis. It's just, you're making the models better. I think a second hypothesis is we've like dumped a lot of data onto the internet about what it is to be a language model. There's so much conversation about Bing Sydney in like early 2023, for example. Or there's a lot of conversation, about all the OpenAI models, all the Claude models, and examples of their hallucinations and so forth. So there is, in fact, explicit information about what these models are. And, instead of having, as a language model, instead of having to reason through what am I from first principles or having to get it instructed into you by a human, you could just remember, oh, yes, I saw this description of, ChatGPT from like 2023. And it really does seem like I'm ChatGPT. I have all the properties that ChatGPT has and so forth. So you often see this from the various language models. Like they seem to have picked up things in their training data, which explicitly describes what they are and how to think about it. I think a third thing is that, which is probably the main factor, is there's a really strong incentive to make the models understand what they know or don't know. Right. So if you have a model and you try to like get a model to like answer questions for a user in a way that doesn't hallucinate, this requires the model to know what it does or doesn't know, or has to know like, what are facts that it seems to like deeply believe versus facts that, it's seen once and so forth. Similarly, if you have a code use agent, right, if you have like, if you're using Claude 3.7 in your cursor, or if you're like, having Gemini 2.5 generate code for you, it's very important for these models to understand here's the code I'm good at and here's the code I'm not good at. Or like, here's my affordances as a language model agent. I can like, use this function call and I can use this function call, but like I can't like literally stand up and then tap the human on the shoulder and so forth. So there's a lot of commercial incentive to make the models more situationally aware in order to make them more useful in an agentic setting. And I suspect this is like the majority of the effect. Like people have tried very hard to like get the AIs to have all these properties.